Just when you thought Manchester United performances couldn't get any shitter this season, we give you that. That is absolutely ridiculous. And West Ham must feel gutted because we did not deserve a draw there. Alright? Yes, as soon as we went behind, we turned up the pressure. But it shouldn't take a goal against you to fucking show your talents, to go for it, to press the game. You know, it was just so frustrating to watch. And right at the end, of course, Shaw gets a red card. Our best outfield player is now ineligible for the next game. Maybe 2. I think if you get 2 yellows, it's only 1 game. But still, it's just ridiculous, alright? We start the game with an unchanged lineup for only the second time this season. We didn't have one last season. It was all different back-to-back games. There was no the same lineup. But anyway, we start the same lineup as we did in the last Premier League game. But anyway, we started off. It's a really dry game. There's no chances really. I mean, what's annoying me is we've got players like Valencia, all right, who've been great at defending. He won our Player of the Month, all right. But then when he gets forward, he just can't cross, he can't attack. And I think that's also a problem about the right-hand side of our pitch. Literally, on the left, as soon as it was played there, it wasn't played there very much, but Shaw, Januzaj, you know, weren't creating a lot, but they were creating more. And that's because Valencia never had an outlet. He never had someone to pass to. It's ridiculous. As soon as he got the ball from defence, he would have to pass it inwards to Rooney, which is usually level with him, or he'd have to pass it behind to Jones. And then Jones would pass it to De Gea and we'd go to the left-hand side. Van Persie or Falcao, well, Van Persie was playing on the right-hand side of the 2 strikers, so he should have been coming back to collect it. Rooney more to the wing. It's just, I don't understand why Rooney was like played as a centre-mid for this game. Well, I do, obviously the physicality, but we had Fellaini, alright? Why was there no creativity? Like, anywhere, we had Januzaj, we had Di Maria, Falcao and Van Persie, easily their worst performance this season. Both had great chances, both spurred them. I'm a massive fan of Radamel Falcao, alright? The runs he's made in previous games just he hasn't had the crosses, but today, he just didn't create anything. He didn't like have any real goal-scoring opportunities. What I mean by that, he didn't create any. He had one chance, which he completely put wide. It was one of the worst finishes. It was a Torres miss for Chelsea. It's just ridiculous, alright? Like, literally, other games, he created them and other players were to blame. But this game, he wasn't there. So it was the same as Van Persie. There was no pace in the attack. As soon as we put Di Maria onto the right, however, we exerted a bit more. Di Maria was poor today as well. Everyone apart from Shaw, I'd say Valencia's defending, David De Gea, who made some great saves throughout the game again, and Rojo. Everyone else was pretty poor. And yeah, anyway, well, the first half, few chances. Di Maria's shot was the best one for us. West Ham had a few that De Gea had to make last gasp saves for. And yeah, they were dangerous from set pieces. We couldn't defend them. It was absolutely ridiculous. They were winning every single header. Free kick, corner, you name it. It looked as though they were going to score. And eventually they did in the second half. It's a beautifully worked goal from Kouyate. I don't know how he holds up. I think it's Rooney who ducked out of the way for the ball. He had one of the worst games of his career today. It was absolutely dreadful. Lost the ball so much. But anyway, Kouyate takes 2 touches and then smashes it around De Gea. I think it deflects off Daley Blind. But the defending, the marking just wasn't there. There was no organisation in the defence. That's what we're missing. It's ridiculous. I feel so sorry for David De Gea. Honestly, I mean, although I've named defenders as our best players, because they were today, they were good at stopping like open play. From set pieces, no one can defend. Like, no one's any good. It's ridiculous. And yeah, we went deservedly 1-0 behind. And then after that, we kicked it up a gear. We started creating so many chances, but we wasted them. Falcao had the best one of the game. And as I say, he put it wide. So unlike him, like, even at Manchester United, like, he's had few chances, and when he's had the chances, he's got them on target largely, like a lot of the time, and most of the time, well, I'd say 50% of the time they go in. But today he was just absolutely pathetic. Robin van Persie had about 3 opportunities and just hit them straight at the keeper. It was frustrating because it looked as though we were going to get back into the game, but we never did until late on. There was no substitute from Louis van Gaal either until Fellaini came on for Januzaj. I was really surprised that Van Persie or Falcao, either or, take your pick, they were both as bad today. They didn't go off. It was Januzaj who fair enough, didn't have the greatest game, but he had a better game than Falcao and Van Persie. As I say, Rooney was poor as well, so why not bring him off? Di Maria didn't have his best game, but at least he tried. He tried to make things work on the right as well, crossing it in, but just no one there. And anyway, yeah, Fellaini comes on. Fellaini misses a gilt-edged opportunity. A header from 7 yards, he somehow heads it over. He just came on though, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But anyway, virtually in the last minute of the game, we get a chance, and yeah, I can't remember if it's a corner or a cross or whatever the hell it is, because I was so disorientated and surprised that we'd actually scored. But anyway, the ball drops and Daley Blind, exactly like he did against West Brom, except this one was inside the box. The West Brom one was outside the box. He smashes it kind of into the bottom right, and it's a beautiful goal. He saved us a draw like he did against West Brom, which is the last time we've conceded 2 goals. I think that was, what, 19 games ago now? And now that means we've had 1 defeat in 17 games while playing some of the worst football I've seen from a Manchester United team. Forget last season, alright, because obviously that was the very worst, considering we finished 7th. It's been nearly as bad as last season, alright, but from every other year that I've seen United, which is about, I've started watching them like regularly about 5 years ago, but I've supported them ever since I started liking football, which is about 11 years ago. But anyway, yeah, it's the worst I've seen, disregarding last season. It's just ridiculous, and we're still picking up points. I think we either move 3rd or 4th. Well, we stay 4th, but we may go 3rd. But again, teams drop points. This was the chance to close the gap on Manchester City, who drew. We didn't do it. This was a chance to push away from the pilot, trailing us basically. Arsenal, Spurs, etc. All of that, and we just didn't do it. So you know, a draw kind of flatters us. I'll take a draw definitely. And yeah, well, credit to West Ham. They're going to be gutted, but yeah, I suppose we got to focus on the game on Wednesday against Burnley and make the gap 2 points to City, while they'll have a game in hand.